To begin, it's important to slow this down and separate headlines from reality. Immigration enforcement operations often sound far more dramatic than they are when summarized in short phrases. What has been described as the largest operation refers to a coordinated enforcement effort involving multiple agencies focused on specific priorities, not random community sweeps. The agency leading this effort is U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, commonly known as ICE. According to public statements and reporting, the operation in Minnesota is part of a broader national enforcement strategy that began intensifying late in 2025 and has continued into January 2026. These efforts are focused on individuals with final removal orders, criminal convictions, or pending enforcement actions already in the system. What makes this operation stand out is not that immigration enforcement suddenly began. Enforcement has always existed, but that it is larger, more coordinated, and more visible than what Minnesota has seen in recent years. You know, that visibility alone has caused widespread anxiety even among people who are not direct enforcement targets. One critical point needs to be made very clearly. This is not a blanket operation targeting all immigrants. There is no announcement of mass neighborhood raids. There's no public directive authorizing random stops based solely on appearance, language, or immigration status. ICE enforcement actions still require legal authority, and agents are working from existing case lists, not creating new ones overnight. So, who is actually being targeted right now? Based on available information, the primary focus remains individuals who already have final orders of removal, individuals who missed court hearings and were ordered removed in absentia, and individuals with criminal convictions that place them within ICE's stated enforcement priorities. Many of these cases have been pending for years and were not acted on during earlier periods of lower enforcement activity. This is why some arrests appear sudden to communities, even though the cases themselves are not new. When enforcement priorities shift or resources increase, older cases often move quickly. Another group potentially affected includes individuals who are currently out of status and already known to immigration authorities due to prior encounters, applications, or court proceedings. This does not mean everyone without status is being actively hunted, but it does mean that existing records matter more during periods of heightened enforcement. Now let's talk about what this operation does not mean. It does not mean that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has stopped processing benefits. USCIS continues to accept and adjudicate applications for green cards, work permits, asylum, and other benefits. Enforcement actions do not automatically cancel pending applications, though they can complicate them in certain cases. It also does not mean that people with lawful status are suddenly at risk of removal. U.S. citizens, green card holders, valid visa holders, and individuals with pending properly filed applications remain protected by law. However, documentation becomes more important in times like this. This brings us to the most important part of this update, what immigrants should calmly take care of right now. First, documentation matters. If you have lawful status, a pending application, or a work permit, you should carry proof with you whenever possible. That could include your green card, employment authorization, document I-797, receipt notices, or other official documents. This does not mean you are required to answer questions about your status, but having documentation can prevent unnecessary complications. Second, understand your rights. Everyone in the United States has basic rights regardless of immigration status. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to ask for a warrant. You do not have to open your door unless agents present a properly signed judicial warrant. These rights exist at all times, not just during large operations. Third, make a family plan. This is not about panic. It's about preparedness. Families should know who to contact if someone is detained, where important documents are stored, and who can care for children if needed. Having a plan does not mean you expect the worst. It means you are being responsible. Fourth, be cautious about misinformation. During enforcement operations, rumors spread faster than facts. Social media posts claiming mass raids, roadblocks, or neighborhood sweeps are often exaggerated or completely false. Relying on unverified information can cause unnecessary fear and lead people to make harmful decisions such as skipping work, missing court dates, or abandoning pending applications. Fifth, if you already have an immigration case, especially one involving court proceedings, prior orders, or criminal history, this is the time to review your situation carefully. That may include speaking with a qualified immigration attorney to understand your exposure and options. Not everyone needs legal help immediately, but for some, proactive guidance can make a significant difference. It's also important to understand what comes next. Large operations like this rarely last forever at the same intensity. Enforcement tends to move in waves influenced by policy direction, resource allocation, and public response. After an initial surge, activity often becomes more targeted and less visible. At the same time, these operations send a message. They signal a tougher enforcement posture heading into 2026, particularly for individuals already in removal proceedings. That message alone can influence behavior even for those not directly affected. For communities, this moment is difficult. Fear can push people into isolation, but staying informed, calm, and connected is the strongest response. Immigration enforcement is not new, but understanding how it works and how it doesn't helps reduce harm.